All right, my friends. So we are live once again. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, all depending on when and where you're logging in from. And welcome to this USWAP workshop. So I've been hinting a little bit in the group what we are going to talk about now. And that is more or less the upcoming IDO of Lori. Now, this is going to be a unique IDO, and I wanted to kind of let you in on a little bit how this IDO will work, what we can expect, how to expect, or maybe not what to expect. Well, of course, that as well. But in terms of how this IDO will work, what we as a community need to do in order to make it work even better, and of course, a little bit of details of a few other things that I want to share with you guys that I'm very, very excited about, and I do believe that all of you will be as well. Now, first and foremost, we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming IDO. So the IDO of the Lori token will commence, we believe, I believe either Thursday or Monday. We haven't really set the date yet. We will do so tomorrow. Me personally, I believe and think that we should do it on the Monday because that will allow us the time to promote this IDO as well. It's about bringing awareness to what we're doing, guys. It's about allowing everybody to know that there's a new token launch happening on the TRON network. There's a new token launch happening through an IDO offering through the USWAP DEX exchange, just like everybody on the BSC network is promoting these IFOs on PancakeSwap. We need to promote the IDOs on USWAP to bring more users, to bring more people to the TRON network, to USWAP, participating in the IDOs, because that alone will bring, not only will it bring more users to USWAP, it will bring more demand towards UME. Because as you guys know, the only way to participate in an IDO is by having UME. So when we're promoting a new IDO, a new token launch, a token that has, like Lori, only 2 million in its total supply, you know, there's a huge opportunity for people to make profit from this token, and that is what we want to promote. We want to give them the opportunity to participate in this IDO, to understand why we're farming this token as well. What this will do is that it will bring a lot of new users towards UME, and those users will need to buy some UME in order to participate in the IDO. Hence, we're putting a demand and pressure towards UME. I know a lot of people have been asking, what are the next plans for UME? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Why don't we have an ER pool for UME holders? But you guys need to understand that now, with version 2 of USWAP, with all the IDOs coming, with all the Unity listings coming, UME will play the biggest role of them all in this ecosystem, even bigger than EFT. Because why? You will gain access to every single token that will be listed on USWAP through the Unity pools. You'll be farming that for free simply by having the UME. And you can participate in every single IDO as well. You can buy yourself into every new token that is about to launch that might do 2 times, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. We never know. It's all about how we as a community promote it and how we push it together. Because not one man alone cannot do this, or one woman alone cannot do it. But as a team, we can accomplish greater things than what anyone has ever expected. All right, so back to the IDO. So Lori has a total supply of 2 million. Now, 800,000 of those Lori will be sold in the pre-sale. Now, that means, let me see here. So the pre-sale price of Lori will be 0.1 UME. So it will be exactly the same as the Lumi IDO. 0.1 UME per Lori. So for 1 UME, you will get 10 Lori. There will be a limit to how many you can purchase. We're not sure if we're going to set the limit to 100 UME or 200 UME. That means that you can buy 1,000 or 2,000 Lori in the pre-sale. There's 800,000 going out in total. That means that we are going to raise, we are going to raise at least 80,000 UME. Meaning 40,000 UME will be burned and 40,000 UME will be split between the 2 farming pools. So 50% of that 40,000 will be converted to TRX for the Lori TRX pool, while 50%, the remaining 20,000 UME will be going in as liquidity in the UME Lori pool. Now, those 2 pools will be open liquidity pools for farming Lori. The 1.2 million of the remaining Lori that is will be farmed through UME and TRX. So that's the 2 pools that you will be having. Now, the tokenomics and the way that it will drive, the way that it will drive Lori is that the farming of Lori will be decreasing every 2 weeks. So the rewards of farming Lori will be decreasing. There's only 1.2 million that will be farmed because 800,000 is bought in the pre-sale. So 1.2 million to be farmed. The first 2 weeks, approximately 200,000 Lori will be farmed. So the earlier you're in, the faster you go into these farming pools, the more you will be farming. Because the next 2 weeks, 150,000 Lori will go out. The next 2 weeks, 100,000. The next 2 weeks, 50,000. The next 2 weeks, 25,000, 12.5 thousand, 7.5, 7,250, I believe it is. And then so on and so on. It will decrease with 50% every single time, meaning that the output will be decreasing. So the ones that are getting into the farming pools At the early stage, that means more or less the entire community of USWAP, because you guys are already here, you know what to do. You will be enjoying the biggest farming rewards at all ever for Lori. And this will decrease over time, creating a scarcity of the token. Now, another thing with Lori that I want to show you guys, or that is, so Lori is an NFT coin. Lori is an NFT coin, meaning that the token Lori itself is actually tied to a specific collection of NFTs. Now, why is it this? So here is here's one of the cool features in the tokenomics. Now, for everyone that is farming, there will be a 5% deduction of your farming rewards. So if you're farming 100 Lori, you will receive 95 Lori. 5 Lori will go to a unique contract. So it will go to a separate contract, and every week, once a week, there will be a lottery, a lucky draw. So there will be 100 NFTs, and every week, 5 NFTs will win and split that 5% share of all farming rewards that has been going on for 1 week. So let's say if 200,000 Lori will go out the first 2 weeks, that means 100,000 per week. 5% of those 100,000, that's 5,000 Lori, will go into a pool. And then there will be a lucky draw that will select 5 NFTs out of the 100, and the owner of those 5 NFTs, or the 5 owners of each of those NFTs, will be receiving 1% each of that 1 week's farming. They will split the 5%. So this will engage people to want to buy that NFT. I mean, Lori, I can never guarantee, we can never, assume what price it will be, but following the way of listing and the way this IDO will go, I have no doubts that this token will do 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, maybe 25, maybe even 50 times. That is all up to us as a community as well, because we decide when we sell, when we buy, how we do this, if we promote it enough. But as said, so the farming rewards of the first 2 weeks will be massive. The API will be huge. But here's the kicker, here's the thing. Everybody who buys into the pre-sale, at the day of listing, they will only receive 2% of the total amount that they bought. 2%. And every single day, 2% of your supply will be released. So over a course of 50 days, you'll receive the 100% of the pre-sale tokens you bought at that set 0.1 UME price. Now, what do you think will happen during these 50 days? What do you think will happen when we launch an API or the Lori pool with an API higher than 10,000? People will buy Lori. People will go to USWAP, because when we list Lori, we will list it with the equivalent value and liquidity as we did with UME. UME did 160 times in 2 days. Why? Because people bought into that token in order to start farming, because the API was insane. It was a new token launch. And that is exactly what we have now, my friends. We have a brand new token launch. The pre-sale is a pre-sale. So what we need to understand is that we're promoting 2 things. We're promoting the pre-sale, and that's where we're getting people to use our ref link. They're buying they're buying some UME, and then they're buying the Lori, and then you will receive the rewards as well. And once the IDO ends, we're no longer promoting the IDO token. We're promoting the launch of the token. We cannot just promote the IDO and have a lot of people buy into the IDO and then quit. Because if we quit, then who's going to buy the token after the IDO? We want to continue to promote, because the more we promote that token, if we promote, hey guys, new token, Lori, launched on USWAP, IDO offering, you can now farm with an API of 2,700. People will ask for information. People will go in, people will buy some UME, people will buy some Lori or buy some Lori and pair it with TRX, provide liquidity. And what that will do is that will increase the price of the IDO tokens you bought in the pre-sale. The thing is, no one is now allowed to dump their tokens the first day. Well, if they want to, they can dump 2% of it. But there's a maximum limit, which means that we're not manipulating the market, but we're kind of controlling the market to make sure that the token goes the right direction. Instead of the token going as Lumen, doing 2, 3, 4 times, we might be getting 10, 20, 30, 40 times. Because now, the thing with the Lumi IDO, and I really, really don't get this, that the IDO tokens that a lot of you bought, you sold them the instant the token got listed, at the same price you bought it, or even at a lower price. I saw people selling it at 0.07 UME per piece, and I have no idea why. If you just held on to your tokens, your Lori tokens, and didn't sell, if no one sold anything, you would only have people buying to get into the farming pools to play the game, and that will make the token at least go 20 to 30 times, according to our calculations when we're looking at it after. So the freeze that we're now putting in is for everyone's sake. It's for your sake. You can take a little bit of profit, but you can only take 2% a day if you want to sell right away. If you're one of those that are buying into the IDOs just to sell it the same day it goes live. Because I want to explain this as well, because this is very important. Because I'm getting the question, so what will the listing price be? Guys, the listing price will be the exact same as the IDO price. The listing price will be 0.1 UME per lorry. Then you might ask, well, why should I buy the pre-sale? You're buying the pre-sale because you can buy between 1,000 to 2,000 tokens at 0.1. If you're buying between 1,000 to 2,000 lorry on the exchange, you have a price impact that will play a role. Instead of 2,000, you maybe only get 1,600. That's the thing. So you're buying a pre-sale token at 0.1 set price, and you can also refer others and accumulate more at that set price. Now, the second we go live, the second we list the token and we start the farming pools, a lot of people will buy lorry because it's still at 0.1. It will be listed at 0.1. But the second the person buys, that price goes up. It goes up and up and up. And then when people come in and they start buying and they see that the price just keeps going up and up and up, FOMO kicks in as well for the entire community that is uneducated or outside USWAP. You guys, the USWAP group, the 10,000 members we have in here, you have the benefit of being educated and prepared before things happened. But there's also, I won't say there's also a price that comes with that. There's not a price that comes with that, but there's a responsibility that comes with that. And that responsibility is to be able to help the community to promote and market this token. You're getting the first insight into what's happening. You're getting first insight to the pre-sale. You're getting the token at the cheapest possible price. When the token is listed, that's when we also need to make a massive push. Just got listed, new token, lorry, massive, only 2 million, farming already, API massive. People need to hear this. They need that, a little bit of hype. But we're not hyping up something that doesn't deserve it. That's the thing. So the IDO's price will be 0.1, the listing price will be 0.1, but I can guarantee you that by the end of the day that we list this token, that price will be closer to 1 UME, 5 UME, maybe even 10 UME per lorry, because the price will increase. It's only 2 million of these tokens. It's only 2 million of the tokens. And as I said, yes, 800,000 in the pre-sale. It sounds like a lot, but keep in mind, only 16,000 of those lorries is being released on a daily basis to a community worldwide, not to one person that can dump it, but to a massive community that just participated in the entire IDO. 16,000 is nothing. And it will not be able to, what can we say, inflate on the price. When people are buying, that price will go up. If somebody wants to sell their 2% that day, they can do so, but that will not affect the price, as people will continue to buy and will continue to push up. So that's what we want to do, guys. That was a little bit about the lorry IDO and the thought behind it all. So another thing regarding this, the lotteries and the NFT. Now, one of the reasons why we're doing this as well is because we want to start, we want to increase the engagement and the activity on the NFT marketplace. Now, if let's say that lorry goes to a price of 1 UME, or let's say it goes to 3 UME, and there's 5,000 lorry in a pool. And if you hold, let's say you have 2 or 3 NFTs that you bought really cheap and you win, you get drawn and you get 1%. That means you get 1,000 lorries, which is now what, 3,000 UME, which is again, $9,000. I mean, that is a massive, massive incentive. So the NFTs and the lorry and everything that we're building is all interacting with each other so that we will get more exposure, so that more people will interact with the NFT marketplace, with the farming. And this is something really, really cool I want to show you as well. I saved this for the last because I love this, and I'm going to show this to you guys for the first time. I haven't said anything, I haven't spoken about it, no one knows. So this is going to be really, really cool. I'm going to share the screen here with you guys. Give me 2 seconds. Share the whole desktop. Let me just bring that up. So now, guys, let's go to USWAP first. So we all know USWAP. Now, we also know that there is a lot of new users that are turning towards DeFi. We also know that there's a lot of difficulties of grasping the whole concept of DeFi, to understand liquidity providing, how a DEX works, how farming works, LP tokens, staking with LP tokens, claiming, all this, all these new terms, new words, the average person has difficulties in the beginning to understand and really, really come in and interact in a proper way. And when something becomes too difficult, we as a human race, we have a good tendency of just giving up. If it's too difficult, we don't want to do it. That's why we always strive to make things that are automatic or more easier for us. That's just evolution in human nature. Now, so as I said, a lot of people are finding it difficult to understand liquidity providing, LP staking, farming, and all this. So we want to make it easier for them. We want to make it fun. So we actually, have integrated, again, with the Lori token and with the UME, an easier way to both promote, market, and share USWAP, UME, and our whole ecosystem to more people, to the world. And I'm going to show you that right now. So we're going into this Figma file, and you will see, let me see here, resume share, there we are. So I believe you can all see my screen. Just give me a thumbs up if you can. Perfect, perfect. All right, guys, so what we're looking at here right now, let me just bring that up. So this is a Figma file. This is actually a new interface that will be coming up on USWAP just after the launch of Lori. So this is a very easy and a very fun way to actually promote UME. It is the chicken UME coop. So this is the UME chicken coop. It is a home to UME chicken that lays UME eggs. So that means that you can actually purchase a chicken for 1,000 TRON, and that chicken will regularly lay you eggs that is actually UME. It will be, so every single day you will be, let me go to the next one here. So this is how it looks. So let me see here. Here you have your, let's say you purchased a chicken, and that chicken is now laying eggs every single day. Now, 1 egg equals to 1 UME. Now, you can collect these eggs in the back office, and once you claim the eggs, they will go as UME to your wallet. But that's not all. You can actually use the eggs for something else as well. Now, let me just tell you one thing. So this chicken is kind of like, I don't know if you guys remember the game Tamagotchi, where you had like this little pet that you were going to feed every day. Exactly, you were going to feed it. You had to put it to bed. You had to scoop the dirt, all this kind of stuff. Or it will, you know, that was when I was young, and it was a lot of fun. And this chicken is kind of the same thing. So you actually need to feed the chicken every single day. You need to feed it once, as you can see here. Feed will cost you 10 TRON to feed the chicken. But if you don't feed the chicken, it will stop laying eggs. Now you can, of course, when you feed it, it will start laying eggs again. But if you don't feed the chicken for 7 days, it will die on you. It will actually die. But here's the thing, you can resurrect the chicken. You can resurrect the chicken for half the cost of a normal chicken. So if the chicken is 1,000, you can resurrect it for 500. Now, what this does, I can see you guys laughing and having a lot of fun on this now. And that's exactly the thing, the vibe that we want to get with this. You know, people actually having fun with this. They, you know, instead of saying, well, you can provide liquidity to USWAP, you can stake, and then you need to get LP tokens, you need to stake them into that farm, and then you need to choose and select and blah, blah. You can buy a chicken. Just buy a chicken. It will lay you eggs. It's so easy, you know? And so this is going to be really cool. And there's a second feature to the eggs as well. So as said, 1 egg equals to 1 UME, and you can claim the eggs at any time, and that time it will go to your wallet as UME. Now, we're pulling in Lori into the whole thing. So we have a trap for Lori. Now, this trap will help you lure and catch Lori, but don't worry, our trap is completely human. While hunting Lori, no Lori will be harmed. Now, Lori is very fond of eggs. So if you can actually, so to catch a lot of Loris, you'll place UME eggs in a special bait basket, and the more eggs that you have in the bait basket, the more Loris you will be able to catch. So that means instead of providing, you know, going the difficult way for new users, they can buy a chicken and they can farm UME, they'll farm the eggs, and they can actually utilize the eggs to farm Lori as well, to catch Lori. I mean, this is just brilliant. So now they gain access to, you know, a very simple and a very fun way to interact with DeFi. Let me go to the next here. So let's see here. Here is the rules, so to say. Let me just read them. We're going to change the wording a little bit because it's kind of Russian wording, Russian English wording. So this is a UME chicken coop. It is home to the chickens that lay UME eggs. Initially, the chicken lays 1 egg per day, but you can actually upgrade your chicken and thus raise the level of the chicken. The higher the level of the chicken, the more eggs it will bring you per day. 1 UME egg equals to 1 UME. You can pick up the eggs that your hen laid at any time, and you'll get them as UME to your wallet. Chicken care conditions. In order for the UME hen to lay eggs properly, it must be fed once a day. If you miss 1 day of feeding, the chicken will stop laying eggs, and if you miss 7 days of feeding, the chicken dies, but not irrevocably. She can be resurrected. How do I use the eggs laid by the hen? You can pick up the eggs from the chicken coop and get them as UME to your wallet. You can use your chicken eggs to upgrade your chicken, or you can place the eggs in the chicken from the chicken coop into the special Lori trap, which will then regularly catch Lori for you, which can be withdrawn to your wallet as well. So that's kind of the rules of it. And if we go to the next, so I'm just showing you guys the interface and how it all looks. So here we have a UME chicken coop that has selected to use the Lori trap as well. The chicken is level 23, age 65 days. You can also see left to live is 9 days and 9 hours. And if we see here, the chicken has a limited lifespan, but by upgrading, you're extending the lifespan of the chicken. And also to prevent the chicken from dying, it must be fed at least 1 time a day. So it will show you here, will want to eat through. So within the next 9 hours and 9 minutes, it wants to eat. You will need to feed feed the chicken. And you can see you have your barn here and how much eggs your chicken laid. That will be, so at this example, it laid 1,098 chicken. You can choose to claim that, or as we did now, we put it into the lorry trap. So now we're going to trap some lorry. So we see that we have put 1,090 eggs into the trap. We can add, we can remove, we can do that as we wish. We can see there's a lifetime or a span on the trap as well. You can reinstall the trap for 10 TRX. And then you can see here, lorry caught 1,098. I love this little graphics, kind of cool though. So let's go to the next one. Let me see here. Same thing. This is the same. Let me see here. Is this exactly? Yes, it's exactly the same thing, except that the trap lifespan has expired. So all lorries was caught. You caught 1,098 lorries for 1,098 eggs. So that's kind of cool. This is kind of cool. And then you can claim the lorries. You can remove the eggs, and then you can either use the eggs again to bait more lorries, or you can pull it out as UME. And then we have, what do we have here? So let me see here. Yeah, so it's just the remaining of the interface here. Trap for lorry, exactly. And then finally, what do we have here? So if your chicken dies, it's going to look like this. It's left to live, it's already dead. We'll want to eat through, but you can resurrect it. So as you see, a regular chicken will be 1,000 TRON, but the resurrected chicken will be 500 TRON. And then, so yeah, so this is basically a few of the things that we've been working on. So with the lorry IDO, or with every IDO that is now coming, a lot of UME will be burned. And as you guys know, the ultimate goal, like it's going to be a difficult one, the goal here and the aim is actually to have more than 250,000 UME burned every single month. And that's not a lot. That means we need to conduct between 4 to 5 IDOs, and we already have that pressure coming in of new developers and third-party developers that want to launch an IDO through our platform. So that won't be a problem. Once we do that, you see, when we're farming UME, 230,000 UME goes out on a monthly basis. So on a 30-day basis, 230,000 UME goes out. Currently, there's 1.3 million UME on the market. There's still 21.7 million left to farm. Now, with the IDOs, if we now raise and burn 250,000 UME monthly, that means that we will be decreasing the amount of UME supply on the market with 20,000 every month. That basically means that even if there's 21.7 million left to farm, there won't be more than the 1.3 million that is currently on the market. And that will be deflationary. It will decrease. Because once these IDOs are going on a regular basis, at least 250,000 will be burned, while 230,000 goes out. That means there won't be any more UME onto the market. There will be a lot more UME farmed, but people will be using that to go into IDOs. They will be using that, to buy into these new projects, and those projects will be given profits as well. And the more we promote these projects, the more success one IDO has, the more success the next will have, because that is what will ripple through people's ears. That is what they will hear. Did you hear about the lorry UME? It did like 120 X's in 24 hours. People made tons of money. It's still at a 40X or something like that. It will happen. It will go up. It will go down. It will go up. People will sell. People will not sell. That's just the way it is. But if we make it successful, which I know we can do, because we have the dev team behind it, and we have the community behind it as well. And as long as we all do our little part, there is absolutely nothing that can stop us from what we're doing. And that is to conquer the TRON network. So guys, that was a little bit about what I wanted to say. We're going to keep it at that. We have been on, let me see here. We've been on for approximately 30 minutes. Oh, that was nice. We're going to actually do a small Q&A. I see there's a few questions here. I'm just going to go through them quickly and see if there's anything. If there's any question that you want to ask, do it now into the chat box, and I'll see if I can reply to them. Okay, so what's the process of the release 2% of pre-sale? Who will get first and who will be last? All right, so there won't be a first and last. Everybody will be able to claim 2% every single day at any given time. So let's say that there's a 24-hour timer. So let's say at 4 p.m. CET, because that kind of goes all the way over in Asia and it goes all the way back into America as well. So let's say at 4 p.m. CET, 2% of those tokens that you bought will be released. That means that 4 p.m. CET, the whole world that has bought into the pre-sale will be able to claim that 2%. Now, my recommendation is, of course, not to claim those 2% to sell those 2%. My recommendation would be to claim those 2% to put it into farming so that you can farm more of these tokens, because keep in mind, there's only 2 million of them. There's only 2 million of them. And who knows, we might burn some in the future. We never know. All right, next one. Will the referral be 10% or 15%? And do we get all of that percentages at launch or just 2% of the referral rewards? Great question there, Andrew. Referral on all IDOs is 10%. On farming, it is 15%, but on all IDOs, it is 10% of the amount that your invitee is purchasing, so to say. So if they purchase for 200 UME, you'll get 20 UME worth of Lori, so to say, Lori tokens. Now, everything that you accumulate, that you buy or accumulate through inviting people and through the ref program will be released as a 2% portion. So let's say that you buy 2,000 tokens and then you invite people, so you have another 3,000 tokens. That means you have 5,000 in total. You will get 2% of the 5,000 on a daily basis for 50 days until you receive the full 5,000. Andreas, thank you for this new jewel that you bring us. My pleasure. You know, it is the least I can do. You know, we're trying all we can to create valuable projects that has substance behind it. For example, here, we're locking it all in with NFTs, a lottery, you know, and a unique farming methods where people will win 1% of a week's farming rewards. That is huge. 5 people every single week will win 1% of the total farming that goes out. That's amazing. That's a lot. So yeah, we really want to bring these projects and good projects to everybody. And we hope that everybody can make a good profit from them as well. I wanted to ask you if you have thought about creating more pools by matching EFT to farm Lume or Lori. I think that the price of EFT we can keep above 200, giving it more utility than the USDT pool to continue seeing the growth of the EFT community until it reaches $1,000. Actually, a good suggestion. It is absolutely something that I will discuss with my devs as well and see if we can do that. It might mean that, okay, so of course, you know, the thing is, the more farming pools that we have for one specific token, the more supply goes out unless we reduce the supply that is to be farmed, which will also reduce the API of that token. So it's a fine balance between that, but it is a very good suggestion to do that people can actually utilize EFT as well for some of these pools, for maybe not all of them, but for some of them. And I said, it's absolutely something that we will discuss, and I will give you guys some updates on that on the next Zoom or next week or something like that. There's no rush yet. Right now, everything is locked in the ER pool, so that's good. That's like DeFi for dummies. I guess I assume here, Misael, that you're hinting to the UME chicken coop. And yes, it is. It's DeFi for dummies. And guys, in order to actually bring DeFi and cryptocurrency to the masses, to get mass adoption, we need DeFi for dummies. Why do you think you have best-selling author books, you know, computer shit for dummies, you know, software for dummies, this for dummies, that for dummies, even reading for dummies? And these books are bought worldwide. And, you know, it simplifies things. And we as a human race, we love when things are simplified. We just love it. We hate difficult things. We don't want to deal with difficult things. We just want to push a button and that's it. Done, deal. And that's kind of what we want to create for people with the UME chicken coop and the Lori trap and all that. And this is just the beginning, guys. This is just the beginning. We're going to create a whole goddamn zoo. We're going to have kind of sports fishing. We're going to have hunting. We're going to have Lori's probably going to be, you know, doing something for us as well. So there's going to be a lot of cool projects coming up that will tie everything together in the ecosystem as well. So there will be, as said, multiple ways to earn profits. And everything starts with UME. Everything starts with UME, my friends, everything. So you want to be farming that UME, because when you're farming UME, you're practically getting access to everything for free, because you're just utilizing what you have, providing a little bit of liquidity, and then you're receiving that UME basically for free. And with that, you can gain access to all the tokens we're listing through Unity. You gain access to all the tokens through IDO, and there will be a lot more coming as well. So you guys, we're just scratching the surface. I said this for 6, 7, 8 months now. We're just scratching the surface, but we're still due. We're maybe one shovel down, but we're digging to China. So we got a long way going. All right, let me see what else we got. Lori sounds so exciting. Can't wait for the IDO. So after that, IDO for any third-party coin is coming in the near future. Yes, there is. So there will be a lot of IDOs from third-party developers. We have already a ton of listings. I do believe listing requests. I do believe we're up to about 16 or 17 IDO requests right now. So there will be a lot of IDOs coming from third-party developers as well, and we will be presenting them. Now, when a third-party token is listed, it is, what can we say? I'm noticing that a lot of people in the community are expecting myself or expecting USWAP to be promoting these tokens. we're promoting them in a way of that they're getting listed. We are giving them some exposure through marketing, of course. We're going to give them, you know, AMA sessions and stuff like that. But it's not, you know, up to it's not my responsibility or my developer's responsibility the success of, for example, Safe Money or any other token that we will be listing going forward. You know, third-party projects are dependent on third-party developers and their community. And if you or if we purchase that token, we kind of become a part of their community. And of course, we want to help that community, but we cannot kind of, as a DEX exchange, we cannot kind of put focus on one thing. You know, there's DEXs and there's exchanges that is listing 2, 3, 4 tokens on a daily basis. We are actually giving each token, you know, a certain amount of time where they can actually get into the project, where they can or get into the community, show them what they have, and make sure that everybody understand. So yeah, a lot of third-party tokens and a lot of third-party IDO launches will be coming. I am super excited for them myself because, of course, the IDOs is a little bit different than the Unity listings. Unity listings is projects that is already up and running, my friends. Already up and running, token listed. Most of the tokens is, or the token is already fully emissioned onto the market, which is why there's no farming of it. The farming is an airdrop through a Unity pool, so to say. That's the only farming is a 1 week's farming of a certain amount of tokens. Now, the real exciting token projects is the IDOs. That's the new tokens, new projects that has that has an active development team, that has multiple services ongoing, and a roadmap that is out of this world. That is the thing. You know, that's what we're looking at, because the IDO offerings, these are token projects that will be farmed through USWAP. Every single IDO, even if it's from the USWAP team or if it's from a third-party team, will be farmed through USWAP. That is the IDO listing. There will be a pre-sale, and then the token will be emissioned and distributed through farming through USWAP only. That is why people come to us, and that is the new way of a token emission, because as you guys know, it's all about building the community while you're actually distributing the token as well. It's not about just dumping a lot of these tokens on the market and then trying to build a community like you see with Shiba, like you see with SafeMoon, like you see with Akita, Baby Doggy, Mini Doggy, Mama Doggy, and all these kind of doggy coins coming up. You know, they're just creating and minting a token, you know, 1 billion, 100 billion, 1 quadrillion, and then dropping everything on the market, zero liquidity. So if somebody purchased for $20, you know, the price goes up 120%, and it gives a false, what's the name? It just gives a false feeling of what's actually happening. People are thinking, shit, this token is flying to the moon, and it's actually one person who invested $20, you know, and now everybody tries to cash out, and nobody can because there's no liquidity. So there's a lot of these tokens out there, but we want to make sure that what we're doing, and especially through the IDO, that these tokens are doing their emission through farming, yield farming, and that is what will benefit all of you as liquidity providers. When will the UMA chicken be launched? It will be launched at the same time as the Lori token will be listed. So at the same time as Lori is listed, the Lori farming pool will be opening as well, and the UMA chicken coop will be live. I'm really looking forward to that. Let me see here. How much Lori we bought in IDO? It can be used for staking. No. So the Lori that you're buying in the IDO will be locked. It will be frozen. 2% will be released every day, and that 2% you can use as staking. Nothing else. If you want to stake, if you want to go into the farming pool from day one, you need to buy some additional Lori from the DEX. And what happens? Well, the price rises, and the pre-sale tokens you buy will increase as well. So what we want to do, once the token is listed, of course, if you want in on that massive API the first 2 weeks and the next 2 weeks, because that's going to be 200,000, 100,000 out, and then it's going to decrease a lot, which means the API will be less, scarcity of the token. You want to buy on some of these Loris the second it gets listed. It will be listed at 0.1 as well. And if you're lucky, you might be able to buy some at 0.1. But you need to be fast. You really need to be fast, because a lot of people will be there waiting for it to be listed, because we're going to promote the shit out of it, to say it in real, so to say. I got to be real sometime, and make sure that the entire world knows it. You know, we got our lead of marketing, Mr. Adam, on the call as well, and they're doing a fantastic job when it comes to pushing out material. When it comes to leading in the Instagram, I mean, they went from 0 followers to what now, 15,000 followers or something on Instagram in just under 2 weeks. More and more people are interacting, and you know, the sites, the blogs, and everything that they're putting out is pulling people towards us. And that is what we as a community need to do together. We all need to push and promote this together. We need to pull the people towards us, and that will ensure the success of not only the IDO, but USWAP itself, UME, EFT, Lume, and every other token project that comes onto this as well. If we're 10,000 people today using the swap, if we can be 100,000 people, imagine the 250,000 people using this exchange. Imagine the power between these behind these IDO offerings. Imagine the power behind the listings. It's just going to be insane. And you guys are here to witness it all. You guys have been farming UME from day one. You guys are going to have access to all of it because you have UME. So that will be it, guys. I'm going to be jumping off now. I see there's a lot of questions on, but I actually don't have time to go through them all. If there's anything important, please get back into the USWAP group. Ask your questions there. Our wonderful moderators will be able to help you out. Even myself, sometimes I will be there. But with that, I'm going to thank you all, and I will see you next time. Have a great evening, guys. Bye-bye.